Very good.
88.
88. So actually the average is 75. 75, and the highest is 97. If you get 80, 70, 90, that is very good. Okay, I guess it's time to get started, guys. So we choose some questions. The correct rate is less than 80%. And the first question is question number 23. It says a cuboid has faces with areas 20, 28, 35 square centimeters. What is the volume of the cuboid? Guys, for such kind of question, the thing is that you need to find the length, the height, and the width of this cuboid. So that way you can get the volume, right? And let's see, the top face, the area is 35. And I suggest you to find the factors of the area, because that way it is possible for you to get the length of each side, right? And let's see, the area of this one is 28 and this one is 20. And basically, you're going to find the common factor of these two numbers and then find the common factor of each two. So you'll find the set length. And as for 20 and 28, you can find a 4, right? Because 20 equals to 4 times 5. And 28 equals to 4 times by 7. And that way, you're going to find you all got a 4, and these two these two faces, they share the height, right? They share the height. And that's going to be the same factor that they have. So that will be 4. And then this is 5, this is 7. And now you need to check, is that 7 times per 5 gives you 35? You will find, yes, it is, right? So now you will find the length, height, and width. And what is the volume? The volume equals to 7. Let's see, the volume equals to 7 times by 5 times by 4. And they do 4 times by 5 first. That will be 20. The correct rate of this question is, just a second, is 73%. And you will find the volume equals to 140 cubic centimeters. Does the 35 always have to be on top? Not really. The reason why, as I give the area of the top one, is because I draw this cuboid, and you will see the top face is the largest one, and the 35 is the largest. So that's why I said the top is 35. Of course, you can put this cuboid in another direction, then the 35 will be another face. Okay, 140. I'll say it's 140 for this one. And then next question. 47. So for this one, the correct rate is 76%. And you got 47 students were asked if they like coffee, and 23 of the students are boys. And guys, for such kind of question, I suggest you to have a table, because you got boys and girls, and some of them like coffee, some of them don't. So you can have such a table to help you. Let's see, this is boys, and this is girl. And then for this one, you can have like or don't like, or cross like. Just make it brief. Now, you know that 47 students, right? So the total will be 47. And then 33 of the students are boys. That means in this row, the sum equals to 23. And that way you're gonna know the total number of girls, right? You just use 47 minus 33. That gives you, 23. So you get 24. Okay. And then it tells you that 11 boys like coffee. So this will be 11. And then how many boys don't like coffee? That'll be 23 minus 11, you got a 12. And then it says 21 students don't like coffee. So that means at the bottom of this column, don't like coffee will be 21. Then how many girls don't like coffee? That will be 21 minus 12, you got a 9. And then how many girls like coffee? It's asking you about this number, right? So you need to use 24, take away 9. That equals to 15. Make sense? Yep, are we good? The answer is 15. Okay, guys, what do you learn from this one? You learn that whenever you got such kind of question, like you got 2 features to consider, then you need to gather a table like this. Draw a table, that's right. Draw a table. Okay, next question. And the correct rate for this one is 62%. Okay, and this question is about, statistics. So the graph shows the number of pets owned by the children in a primary school class. Question A, how many boys own 2 pets? So in this one, you need to focus on the bars first. The black, the white one represent the boys and the dark one represent the girls. Then how many boys own 2 pets? And then you need to take a look at this horizontal axis, and it tells you the number of pets. So you go to 2 pets, and the white one represents the boys, so that will be 22. And then how many more boys than girls are there in the class? How to solve this one? So you have 2 different ways. You have 2 different ways to get the answer. The first way is that you add 7, 19, 22 together, and then you take away 9, take away 11, take away 12, you get the answer. And another way is that you can do that one by one. So as for the first 2 bars, how many more boys are there than girls? That will be 7 minus 9, which is minus 2. And then you do 19 take away 12, you got a 7. And then you do 22 take away 11, you got a 11. So the answer will be minus 2 plus 7 plus 11. And that gives you 18 minus 2, you got a 16. Okay, so the answer will be 16. And then let's move on to the third one. What percentage of the children in the class have no pets? So how to get that? You need to find what is the total number of all the students, right? So how many students are there? Can anyone tell me how many students in total in this class? You do 7 plus 9. That will be 16. 19 plus 12 gives you 31 and 33. And then you add them all together, you'll find that is 80, right? It's 80. You got 80 students. And how many of the students don't have a pet? That will be 16. So the answer will be 16 over 80. And you simplify that, you got a 1 over 5, which equals to 20%. And that's the answer to this one. And last question, how many pets in total are owned by the girls? So to get that, you cannot use 9 plus 12 plus 11, because that 9 means 0, right? So 9 girls owned nothing, owned no pets. So that will be 12. For this one, it should be 12 girls, and each of that 12 girls owned 1 pet. And then for this 11 girls, each of that girl owns 2 pets. So you do this kind of calculation. That will be 12 times by 1. You got a 12 and plus 22. You got a 34. So the answer will be 34 to this one. Okay, that's for 34. Now let's move on to question number 27. In a chess league, there are 5 teams and they all play each other once. How many matches are there altogether? How many matches are there altogether? So it's like we know that in each group of the World Cup, you also watch the World Cup, right? We got 4 teams, and in the other 4 teams, they're gonna play with each one only once. So that way you're gonna have 6 games. And now you're gonna have 5 teams. Then how do you get that? You do A, B, C, D, and E, right? If you start with A, that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 games. And then you're gonna start with B. So 1, 2, 3. The reason why you don't connect A and B to, again, because you just count that, you just count it. And then you're gonna start with C, that'll be 1, 2, and then start with D, it's just 1. So you will see the thing will be 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. That's why you got 10 games. Yes, G?
Like my way was that I just did 4 times like the number of teams, which is 5, and then divided by 2.
Yeah, that's right. That's another way to get the answer. So just as she said, we got another way to get the answer, that is use the multiplication. Because sometimes, say, if you got 100 teams, then it asks you how many games are there. You should use 99 plus 98 all the way to 1. And that is a large calculation. But the thing is that you can consider like this. We got 5 teams, right? And each one gonna play with all the other teams by one time. So that will be 4 games. Let's say if you focus on A will play with B, C, D, E. So that's why you times by 4. And you have 5 teams. So that's 5 times by 4. But that way you're gonna double count every games. You'll double count AB and BA, but actually that is just 1 game. So that's why you have to divide it by 2 to get the answer. All right, so it can be 20 divided by 2, you get a 10 as well. That's it. Yes, Star is raising hand. What's your question?
So why do you have to divide it by 2, like not 5, because there's like 5 matches?
Because you double counted like the A and B and again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like if you do 5 times by 4, that means you have 5 teams and each one gonna play 4 games. But you see, if you start with A, you're gonna do A, B, A, C, A, D, and A, E. And you start with B, that 4 games will be B, A, B, C, B, D, and B, E. And you'll see that A, B, and B, A will be double count. And also, if you start with C, all the B, C, and AC will be double count. So that's why for all the games, you just double count each one. So you divide by 2, you get the answer.
Okay.
Okay, good. So the correct rate for this question is 74%. It's just okay. And then for this one, the correct rate is 75%. You see, you got 2 books and 3 magazines that gonna cost you 37 pounds. And if you buy 3 books and 2 magazines, that will be 43. Question, how much it would cost to buy a book and a magazine? Actually, it's simultaneous equations, but it's an easy one. Because you got a 2 book, let's use 2B, 2 times B. And B represents the cost of each book. And E plus 3M, that will be 37. Who did something on my screen? Can you erase that? Thank you. Okay, let's continue. And then you have this 3B plus 2M. equals to 43. And the question is, what is 1b plus 1m? Guys, for this one, if you observe that the coefficient of b and m, so for equation 1, equation 2, you add these two equations together, you get a 5b plus 5m, right? Because 2 plus 3 is 5, 3 plus 2 is 5 as well. And that equals to 37 plus 43. That gives you 80. And then you want to get 1b plus 1m. So you need to divide by 5 from both sides. So that gives you 1b plus 1m equals to 80 divided by 5, which equals to 16. And also will be 16 pounds to this one. Okay, question number 30. And the correct rate for this one is 67%. A shopkeeper buys a box of 45 melons for 80 pennies each. Okay, and that information gives you the total cost of that 45 melons, right? You need to use 45 times by 8. That will be the total cost. And if he finds that two ninths of the melons are bad and cannot be sold, question: at what price must she sell each of the good melons so that he makes a total profit of 6 pounds? And you see that this is 80 pennies and this is 6 pounds. So you need to convert that into the same units. So let's do 600p. How about that? Okay, guys, just do the calculation. Tell me, what is the total cost? 45 times by 8 equals to what number?
33,600.
It's 80, not 8. 3,600, right? That's the total cost. Good. And now, can anyone tell me, he's gonna sell how many good melons? You have to use 45.
35.
Yeah, times
35.
0.9. That will be 35 melons. And he wants to make a total profit of 600p. That means that 35 gonna cost how much? Gonna sell that by 3,600 plus 600p, right?
1,200.
Yep. So that will be 4,200p. And so what's going to be the cost of each one? You have to use 4,200 divided by 35, right?
£1.20.
180.
1.20, right?
1 point.
Yeah, that's right. Very good. That equals to 120p. And the question is asking you about pounds. So it's 1.20p. Okay, 1.20. That's it. This is 1.20. Okay, any questions, guys? Are we good for this one? Okay, so let's see the next one. Question number 31. The correct rate for this one is only 50%, but I don't think it's a hard question. You see, you got a pie chart, and it tells you a group of children are asked for their favorite color. Their choices are represented on the pie chart as given below. So what percentage of children choose green? You need to find a percentage, right? And that 120 degrees is how many percent, guys? Or what's the fraction of that 120 degree? You have to use 120 divided by
1/3.
It's 1/3. That's right, 1/3. And the blue is 1/6, and the pink is 1/20, right? If you use 1, take away this fraction, take away this fraction, take away this fraction, that can give you the fraction of the green. So just do the calculation. Tell me what's the fraction you got. What's that fraction?
9 out of 20.
9 out of 20. So if you do 1/3 plus 1/6, that equals to
Is it?
a half. A half. So 1 take away a half is a half, and a half minus 1 of 20.
Is it 27 out of 60?
Let's see. These
Isn't
two
it
fractions
32?
add
Yeah.
up to a half, and 1 take away a half is a half. And then you use that minus 20, 1 of 20. So that'll be this, right? 10 over 20 minus 1 over 20. The answer is
9 over
9
20.
out of 20.
And then you convert that into percentage. So you times by
45.
5 to both sides.
45%.
So 45 over 100, which is 45%. Okay. How many children choose blue as their favorite color? For this one, you will know that 135 children is just 45% of all the children, right? So what's the total number of all the children? You have to use 135 divided by its percentage, divide by 45%. And then you times the percentage or the fraction of the children who choose blue, right? So you times by 1/6. And you do the calculation, you get the answer. So 135 divided by this fraction equals to what number?
Is the answer 15?
Yeah, so 135 divided by 45 gives you 3. And 3 times by 100, that would be 300. And then you time that 300 represent the total number of this group of children. You got 300 children. And then 1/6 of that prefer
50.
blue. So you times by 1/6, you got a 50. So 50 children gonna choose blue as their favorite color. Okay, so let's see the next question. Question number 32. Okay, so in a game, a number of children stand evenly spaced in a circle. Each person is given a number 1, 2, 3 in that order. And then you know that number 12 stands directly opposite number 37. How many people are playing the game? So if you don't remember the way to solve the question, I suggest you to start with the easy version. Let's say we have only 4 children. How about that? You have 1, 2, 3, and 4. You have 4 children. What percentage of people got this one correct? Is 49% students got this one correct. So if we start with this simplest version, you will see that 1 is opposite with 3 and 2 is opposite with 4. And how can we get these 4 students? We know that we've got 4 in total, right? Actually, just use 3 minus 1. You got 2 intervals. And we all know that in a circle, the number of children equals to the number of intervals. So, but that 2 is just a half. These 2 intervals, right? So, and you need to times it by 2 to get 4. And of course, if you choose, let's say, if you choose 2 and 4, if you choose these 2 numbers, they are opposite, right? And that will be 4 minus 2, you got a 2. And that means these 2 intervals, 4 minus 2. And you just double that number of intervals. You got 4 intervals in total, and that means you got 4 children. And then let's go back to the original question. That tells you that 12 stands opposite 37. Okay. The method will be exactly the same. You just use 37 minus 12. That tells you how many intervals of the half circle. That will be 25. It's 25, and it's just the half, right? So you need to use 25 times by 2. That gives you 50. And that represents the total number of all the intervals. And you know that equals to the number of all the students, all the people. So the answer is 50. Guys, are we good? Any questions? Yes, this is what we learned in the summer holiday courses. It's like planting trees problems, guys. Do you still remember that? So you got a circle, you're gonna plant some trees, and how many trees do you have like that? Okay, question number 33. And so in this one, you got a cube. So let me tell you the correct rate. The correct rate for this one is only 22%. So for this one, a cube with side 4 centimeters is made from small cubes of side 1 centimeter. Okay, guys, I can draw that cube for you. It's a 4 by 4 by 4 cube. What's the correct rate? Is 22, only 22%. Okay, I'm done. Question A, how many small cubes will have 3 blue faces? That's gonna be the cubes at the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And on the top, you got 4 corners, and on the bottom, you still got 4 corners. One is hidden on the back, right? So the answer is 4 plus 4, you got 8. That will be 8. And then how many small cubes share a face with 5 other small cubes? What does that mean? So if I translate this sentence, it asks you about how many cubes get only one blue face. Does it make sense? Because all the other faces will share with other cubes. Then that means it cannot be painted. I don't think it's a hard question, guys, but maybe you just forgot how to solve that one. And can anyone tell me where is that cubes that have only one face?
In the middle.
Painted? In the middle. That's right, in the middle. Let's see. If you take the top, in the middle, you have 4. You have 4 cubes, right? And of course, on the top, you get 4. And on the right, you get a 4. In each face, you're going to have 4 cubes are painted only one face. And how many faces do you have in a cube? You got 6 faces in total. And then you times by 4. That will be 24. So the answer is 24 to this question. And let's see the last question. How many small cubes have no faces painted blue? How many? It's inside the surface, right?
Yeah.
At the core. And actually, that is a 2 by 2 by 2 cube. Can get it. So you see, we have these 4 cubes, and just inside this 4, and inside this 4, and inside this 4, you got a small cube that is 2 by 2 by 2. And actually, how do you get a number? It's pretty easy. You just use this 4 centimeters, take away 2. It's like you cut 1 from this place, and it cut from this place, and it cut from this place. Like that. And you're gonna get that small cube, which is 2 by 2 in the center. If you got a 2 by 2 by 2 cube, then how many small cubes are there? It's gonna be 2 times by 2 times by 2, right?
8.
Which
8.
gives you 8.
8.
So that tells you you have 8 small cubes, have no faces painted blue. Okay, so guys, if I change the number, let's say we got a 5 centimeter and 5 centimeter And now, can anyone tell me the answer of the last question? How many small cubes have no faces painted blue?
27.
Yeah, that's right. You just use 5 minus 2 first, you get a 3. And that 3 means the cube that are not painted at all will be a 3 by 3 by 3 cube. So you use 3 times by 3 times by 3. That gives you 27. All right, that's it. And then we can move on to question number 34. Yes, questions?
I don't get why it's like 5 minus 2 and
Ah.
why you have to like split it.
The reason why I do 5 minus 2 is that you see, sorry. Let's see, if you got 5 by 5, 1, 2. This is the 5 by 5, 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
No, this is not a 5. We need to add one more row here. So just like the 4 by 4 ones, you see that on this top, all the cubes will be painted, right? And what's gonna be the cube that are not painted at all? You need to
It's
choose
going to be in the
this
middle.
cube, and then you go one step to the center. So that's why you will see it's a 3 by 3, right? So for this column and this column, 2 columns, it's gonna be always 2 columns you have to take away to get the set length of that small cube in the center. That's why you use 5 minus 2, you get a 3. And that 3 means the set length of the center cube that are not painted at all.
Wait, I just don't really get why you have to take away the 2, like the 2 columns.
Because that will be painted. You see,
Okay.
for this 4 by 4 one, you see, let's see. If you got a 4 by 4, this is a 4 by 4 cube. How about that? It's just one face of that. And inside that cube, you see for this one and this one, if you go one step inside, that's gonna be the surface as well. It's not the center one. It's also at the outside. So that's why you just count this 4 and you go one cube inside. That will be the cube that are not painted.
Wait, so do you mean like the cubes that are like inside that aren't painted?
Yes, the cube that are inside will be not painted.
Okay.
Yeah, and of course, if you think it is hard to understand, you can have the easiest one, the easiest version. That's of a 3 by 3. Guys, you all play the Rubik cubes, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And actually, that's a good example for you to understand this thing.
Not really.
Yeah.
But that's fine. If you know the shape, that's fine. And you see that for this Rubik cubes, all the painted cubes will be how many? Or in other words, there is only one cube that are not painted at all.
26.
26. Yes, you got 26 cubes that are painted. And that means in the center, you have only one cube that is not painted at all. And how do you get that 1? How do you get that 1, guys? The method will be, you just use it's a 3 by 3 by 3, right? You use that 3, take away 2, and you got a 1. And that 1 will be the set length of the cube that are not painted. So it's 1, and you use 1 times by 1 times by 1. It gives you 1 cube. Make sense? Guys, are we good? Any other questions do you have? Nope. All right. Then question number 34. So for this one, a gate can be opened using the correct combination of the 4 digits in the correct order. In 4513 is tried, only 2 are correct. When 4723 is tried, only 2 are correct. When 6210 is tried, only 2 are correct. And then this is also only 2 correct. And when this one is tried, all the digits are wrong. That is very good information we got. What do you have, guys? That means the last digit cannot be 3. So this is not correct. This is not correct. 0, maybe that is correct. And then as for the first digit, it's not a 9, and you see that you choose 4464. There's no 9 there. And for the second digit, it cannot be a 6, and you do 5725. You don't use a 6. And as for the third digit, it's 5. It cannot be 5, and you only choose 1212. And that means the last information just tell you the last digit cannot be a 3. And then what's next, guys? What's next? If you compare this two, you got 2 correct digits. So
Does
also,
that mean that the starting number could be 4?
yes, the starting number must be 4. Must be 4. So this 6 cannot be correct.
And maybe the third digit is like 1 because 5 cannot be used.
Now can we compare the third one, and I mean the first one and the fourth one? The 4 is correct. And then you will see that only 2 digits are correct. And also for the third one, only 2 digits are correct. So let's see. If 0, could it be possible that 0 is not correct? The last digit?
No.
0 must be correct, guys. If 0 is not correct, you cannot find the last digit, guys. You see, the last digit, you only try 3 and 0, and they are both not correct. So you cannot find the last digit. That's why 0 must be correct.
So does that mean 5 and 2 on the last one is not correct?
That's right. So you're gonna delete all the 5 for the second place, and 2 on the third place. That's not correct. And then I think you have already get the answer, right? So the first digit must be a 4, and last digit will be a 0. And then for the second and third one, how do you determine that? You see, when you go to the second information, it tells you only 2 digits are correct, and you have already canceled out 2. So that means that second one must be a 7. 4, 7. And then you cross out this one. So the third one, 1 and 0 must be correct. So the answer will be 4710. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So the correct rate for this question is 54%.
Is this a logistic question?
Yes, kind of. That's right. It is a logistic.
What's the percentage?
The percentage, the correct rate is 54%. Okay, guys. Last question. Can you guess it, guys? Can you guess it? What's the correct rate for this one? It's really low.
4.5.
25.
25,
Yeah,
no,
10%.
that's lower than that, lower than that.
15.5%.
It's 7, guys, only 7, only 7% of you got this one correct. Okay, so before we solve this one, do you guys still remember what we learned when we want to find the different number, I mean the total number of rows, when we start from the A and go to B?
Number 5,
Do you still remember that method we talked about?
number 26.
Yes.
Guys, you'll see that it's called the, just mark all the number of rows you go to each point and add them together, right? So for this one, for this cube one, I mean for this square one, you can only go up or go right, you cannot go back. So I think someone is not muted. Please check it and get yourself muted. Okay, thank you. And then how can you go to this place? You can only go from this point or from this point, right? So that'll be 1 plus 1, you get a 2. And then this one will be a 3 because it's 2 plus 1, and this one will be 4. And that is 3, 4, right? And how can you get to this point? You can only go from this one or to this one. So that'll be 3 plus 3, you get a 6.
6.
And this one will be 10, this one will be 10, right? So the final answer is 20. So 10 plus 10 gives you 20. Are we good about this question? And then when you have this hexagon ones, that will be exactly the same thing, but you need to be really careful when you solve that. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to this question. For this one, you can only go up, right, or down, right, or directly right. That means you cannot go left, right? Okay. So can anyone tell me how many different ways that we can go to this red point? Can you type your answer? From A to this point, how many different ways do you have? You have only one way, guys. You have only one way, because you cannot go left. That means this is the only way you go to this point. And also, there's still only one way to go to this point as well. So the thing is that when you consider how many different ways that you have to a point, you need to consider this direction, and this direction. You need to add 3 numbers together to get a total number of ways to get to that point. There are 2 ways to get the second point. No, only one way, guys. Only one way. You can just go up and then go up to get this point. There's not other ways. You can, because you cannot go back like this. It is not allowed. So let's mark this for you. It's 1 and 1 as well. Make sense? And can anyone tell me how many different ways do we have that I can go to this point? Let me change the color into an orange one. So how many ways do you have that I can go to the orange place? Just keep this one in mind. Keep this one in mind. You can go down, you can go right directly, and you can go up directly. And then you need to add that 3 numbers together. So this is 1, right? 1 plus 1 plus 1, that gives you a 3. Guys, are we good? So far, so good? Are you still with me? Yep. Okay, now let's consider the B. Let's use the pink one. And if you want to go to B, you have only 3 different ways. First way, second way, and third way. But that doesn't mean you have 3 ways to go to B. I mean, you need to add these 3 numbers that lead you to B, right? So it's 1 plus 1 plus 3. So that's why it's a 5. So from A to B, you have 5 different ways. Guys, so far, so good? And actually, if you found there's 5 ways to go to B, then that'll be 5 ways to go to this position as well. It's gonna be 5. And then, let's see, how many different ways that you can go to this point?
One,
Yeah, 1, and also can you at this place from this point B?
6,
Yes, that will be 6. 1 plus 5, you got a 6. It's gonna be 6. And also, if you want to go to this position, it's gonna be 5 plus 1 as well, which is 6. Yes, Kiki.
What do you do like for this 1 and 3? When you add it up, it's 5. Is that like another way? Or is it
Can you repeat your question? What's your question?
like when you the circled 1 and the circled 3? Because you said that 1 plus 5 is going to be 6 different ways.
Mhm.
Then 1 to 3 is it supposed to be 4 different ways or is it just 5?
1, 2, 3.
When like because you said that the 1 to 5, like 1 and 5, there's 6 different ways to get to that spot.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the 1 and 3, is it also 5 or 4?
1 and 3. Oh, that 3 means if you want to go to this spot, you have 3 different ways in total. And now let's take a look at this point. I think after we talk about this point, you can get it. So if you want to go to this point, how many different directions that you can have? You have 1, 2, 3 directions, right? And you need to get the number of ways to go to that point. That will be this number 5 plus this number 3 plus this number 5. Make sense?
Okay, thank you, I get it now.
Yeah. So you got a number of this point that will be 13. That will be 13. So that means if you want to go from A to this point, you have 13 different ways in total. And now we have 2 more points to consider. Let's see this purple one. You can go from this way and this way and this way to the purple one, right? So that's gonna be what number?
24.
24.
Yeah, it's 24, right? Is that 24? 5 plus 6 plus 13 is gonna be 24, and also this one is 24 as well, because it's like a symmetry thing. It's a reflection, right? So now you need to consider how many different ways do we have that can lead us to C. It's C, right? So it's 24 plus 24 plus 13 equals to what number?
This is 61.
61.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So you need to add these 3 numbers together, because you're gonna go from that 3 spots to C, and the total way to get C will be 24 plus 24 plus 13. That'll be 48 plus 13, so you got a 61. So the answer to the second one will be 61 different ways. Yes, Stas, you are raising hand. What's your question?
So why do you need to like add the 1? So the one that you wrote in red and you circled in pink, and the 3 to get 5? Because I thought it was like 3 ways.
That is 3 ways. You see, if you want to go to B, do you ask the first question?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. If you want to go to B, 3 different spots can lead you to B, right?
Yeah.
What can be that 3 spots?
3 spots is like
This
the
one.
that yeah.
Okay, maybe I can use the black color. Right, so this one and this one, right?
Yeah.
That will be the only 3 spots that will lead you to spot B. And the thing is that if you want to go from A to that 3 spots, you see, if you want to go from A to this spot, there's only one way, right?
Yeah.
And from A to this spot is only one way, but from A to this spot, it's not only one way, it's 3 ways.
Yeah. So how do you get like the spots? Do you just have to wait, no, how do you like get the spots?
How do we get the 3 spots?
Yeah.
Oh, that is because the question tell you can only go in this direction, right up, right down, or right.
Yeah.
You can, let's see. Actually, there are 6. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots that connect with B, right?
Yeah.
But you cannot go to that. You don't need to consider that 3 spots on the right because you cannot go left.
Yeah.
That's why you choose these 3 spots.
Okay.
And that will be 1 plus 1 plus 3. You get a 5. So that means you have 5 ways to go to B.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, guys? Are we all good about this one?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So I can leave you one homework. Guys, just figure out how many different ways that you can go to this point D. Okay, after the class. I think it will be a large number.
Okay.
Try to get it.
Okay.
So stop recording and Happy New Year to all of you guys.
Have a happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy
Happy New Year. Happy Year. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Hey guys, I'm going to leave the Zoom now. Have a good night. I think tonight we will have a lot of fireworks to watch. Bye-bye.
Bye.